try to keep this brief. The Department of Employment and Workforce reports that seasonally adjusted unemployment for February was 9.1% in South Carolina. The inflation rate that the federal government reports is 2.87%, but that does not include food and energy. And speaking of energy, gasoline in South Carolina as of right now is averaging $3.70 a gallon. State Employee Retirement Fund is underfunded by several $billion. With all that information, how can state legislators justify a 2012-2013 state budget that may include a $1 billion in new spending? 1 minute.
Well, it took longer than a minute to read that.
Exactly.
First thing, unemployment. I chaired a committee that would automatically disqualify fired workers for misconduct. That will lower unemployment taxes on our employers $50 million or more. And the best way to create jobs is to lower the overhead of the job creators. You spoke about debt. I'm going to tell you one more thing about that. There is a wonderful project that we have to fund, and that's dredging the Charleston Port. Everybody here would agree with that. But the bill before us borrows the money. We've got $32 billion of debt on our grandchildren, and here we have a bill that takes a great idea and wants to borrow the money. Here's the greatest trick in the book politicians will do. They'll take something very popular, they'll borrow money or raise taxes to fund that, and then they'll, behind your back, fund the fluffy stuff and the warm and fuzzy and the pork barrel spending. I will fight that. I will continue to fight that. I joined a filibuster of the budget last year. It paid for abortions, paid down little debt, and cut hardly any taxes, and we drug that budget process out 5 weeks, and if I'm reelected, I'll do the same thing again.
Right now, challenger John Bowen Jr.
I feel like that the issues with unemployment can be addressed in a lot of different ways, and they're one of the most important issues that we're faced with. We've got to cut the wastes in government that that preclude businesses from getting out there and being profitable. I've run a small business before, and I've gone out there and realized how much time that I've got to spend just meeting all the obligations that the government puts on small business. Those obligations hurt our ability to go out and create jobs. With 10% unemployment, I'm not sure if that's in South Carolina as a whole, or even here within just the county of Anderson. I believe it's higher than that here in Anderson.
Could be in Anderson County.
We need to work here within Anderson County, also making a political environment that's more conducive to new business coming into our area. And showing people who want to come in and invest money in Anderson County that we have a political machine in place that's going to work with them and not against them.
All right, thank you. All right, and I will restate the question briefly and not go through the whole setup. Once again, how can the state legislators justify the 2012-2013 state budget that may